Let's move on now. Unleashing wave after wave of firepower, Russia is pounding Ukraine with lethal precision, hundreds of drones and multiple missiles. 6 people have been killed in Kyiv and 2 others have been killed in Odessa. Zelensky calls it calculated Russian attack, while Ukrainian drone and missile attacks have halted oil exports at Russia's crucial Black Sea port. Here's a report.
Blistering Russian missiles hammer Kiev, sparking panic, destruction, and death. Ukraine's front line buckles as Moscow's forces slice through defenses with unstoppable momentum. A night of terror leaves blood on the pavement. Dreams shattered, and a city questioning its next move. Kiev wakes to smoke and shattered glass. Russia launches a combined strike that rocks the city with force not seen in months. Incoming Iskander, Kinzhal and Caliber missiles rain down with chilling accuracy. Eyewitnesses recount devastation as the attack's fury leaves citizens clutching hope and memories.
I'm about to be back in my mind and then I'll shake because I'm still in shock. I usually lie on a folding bed with my head towards the entrance and there's a huge slab right behind my back. It's just a miracle. I don't know how. God saved me.
This is a tragedy for all of us. I'm not speaking just about myself. It's a tragedy for Ukraine and for the entire world, because for some reason, no one can manage Russia. They strike every district, every day. Today, it was my home. Tomorrow, it could be my neighbors or relatives.
In Odessa's south, a Russian drone slams into a crowded market. Following the strike, a fire broke out at an energy site, damaging a nearby residential building. Zelensky says the Russian forces used 430 drones and 18 missiles, making the attack one of the biggest on the capital so far. Kiev says it is responding with long-range Ukrainian long Neptune cruise missiles on targets in Russia. Ukraine also targeted Russia's Black Sea port of Novorossiysk. Oil exports were halted following a Ukrainian drone attack that hit an oil depot in the major Russian energy hub. Both sides trade blows. Kiev's resolve remains, but the Kremlin's offensive shows no signs of slowing. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
And joining us live from London is Miss Jane Kinninmon. She is the CEO, United Nations Association UK, and a Senior Associate Fellow at the ELN. Miss Kinninmon, thanks for your time and welcome to the broadcast. The US seems to have taken a back seat when it comes to diffusing the tension between Russia and Ukraine. And it also seems this will be the harshest winter for Ukraine in the 4-year war. What could be America thinking right now or strategizing?
Well, President Trump has been less engaged than he was, but he has recently taken a significant move in terms of imposing new sanctions on Russia's oil sector, which are due to come into effect in exactly 1 week's time. It seems that President Trump has become frustrated with President Putin, that he doesn't think that Putin really does want to end this war. And so he cancelled a summit that the two leaders were planning to have in Hungary, and instead he is tightening the economic squeeze on Russia. And it seems that Russia is trying to signal that it's not afraid of those sanctions and it wants to put pressure on Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukraine, it's not expecting to win this war militarily, but it will be hoping that the sanctions shift Russia's calculations and put Ukraine in a better negotiating position for some way to get a ceasefire.
Well, President Zelensky says Ukraine hit targets in Russia successfully overnight using long Neptune missiles. Does this look good for Ukraine, or could it worsen the situation for them?
Ukraine is in an extremely difficult spot because at the end of the day, as you say, this war has been going on for nearly 4 years. And before that, they had already had parts of their country occupied by Russia since 2014. Ukraine is much smaller than Russia. It's got much fewer people to send to war. Increasingly, they would like this war to end, but they don't believe that Russia is willing to end it on terms that are at all acceptable to Ukraine. It seemed that Russia was asking the US even to give it more territory than it's been able to conquer. So Ukraine is stuck. They will be hoping they can put pressure on Russia and try to get it to back down. But I also don't think Ukrainians are optimistic. I think generally they're expecting to be living in this state of conflict for a long time, and they're having to do things like build new schools underground in some places, knowing that parts of their country will remain really vulnerable to bombings.
Well, unfortunately, the winters are here. Miss Jane Kinnan-Moore, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for talking to us today.